You have to be selfish sometimes to become that selfless. People may say that you are selfish, you are just focusing on yourself, because even I heard that dialogue.
How did your childhood shape you into who you are today?
It's kind of blessing for me to get into the right environment, learn from the difficulties or the challenges, which as a girl cannot speak out. But I think earlier the better, earlier we grow.
What was one of your biggest childhood wishes?
I always heard about the freedom from my mom, grandmother, cousins, everyone. I thought, okay, let me make it real.
How do you help others to create the reality they want? What is some of the system that you follow to make your clients also realize this?
I understood one thing. We always tend to fall into the trap of emotions. We need to start taking that responsibility for our own selves.
You are a woman who wakes up at 3 a.m. in the morning. How is that even possible in today's world? How much sleep you usually get? What is your routine like?
One motivation behind that is my child, because I did not want to give up my career. I used to work from 3:30 till 8 o'clock in a very, very disciplined manner. Most of my important work used to get finished that time.
Hi, this is Gopal Krishnan and welcome to the Unicorn Coach Talk Show. Today we have a very special guest. Srinidhi has been a coach for working women and she helps them to create their own queen story and reclaim their identity. And she has been doing this for years now. And today we're going to get a very real, raw interview with her so that we know all the secrets, how to create your queen story and reclaim your life as a woman. Welcome to the show, Srinidhi.
Thank you, Gopal. So proud, and I'm feeling so happy that I'm here with you today, because in fact I've kept it on my vision board in the recent time that I have to do something along with you.
Wow.
So that's the first image which I can think of at the moment. That's
Wow.
the first picture.
Amazing.
So,
We have Dhanvin here, your son. And tell me about the journey. You said Dhanvin was 4 years old. From the day you were pregnant with Dhanvin and your career and juggling between coaching business, how difficult was this phase for you?
In fact, it was not so difficult, but I think it is a blessing, because being a girl, being a woman, being a teenager, right? We think that there are lots of challenges and there are lots of boundaries, but I think being a girl is a blessing, because we'll have that protective space, we'll have that concern from the family members and also from the close friends, right? So that situation, actually, I was in Bangalore when I was carrying him, and it was a peak COVID time. There was no support, nothing, but it actually helped me connect with my own self more, because I always aspired to be something apart from my job, because that kind of filled an emotional void. So I had got so much of time so that I can focus on my personal interests as well. So learning, reading more books, and picking up mandala art for having that calmness, and reading about Ayurveda. That's when I started reading more about Ayurveda. So I think that's a kind of blessing for me, and I've got my honorary doctorate as well during that period, and it has helped me so much as a mother, as a girl, and also to be the better individual. Just not to be a kind of person who wants to just achieve my dreams, but also to become a better individual, because I know that for sure for the kids we would be the role models, right? The parents would be the role models. So I've got a better chance, better time to nurture myself, to cope up with myself, and to become that individual where he can role model or at least pick the right things.
Wow. And how was your childhood, right? Now we have Dhanvin, but how was your childhood? How did your childhood shape you into who you are today?
So my childhood was also so beautiful. My parents both were working individuals. Along with that, I had people around me like my aunts, uncles, everyone. So I think I've learned so much from them, not only from my parents, but observing from the environment is what matters, right? Absorbing the right kind of things. So I think it's kind of blessing for me to get into the right environment, learn from the difficulties or the challenges, which as a girl cannot speak out, right? Those things also were there, but I think earlier the better, earlier we grow, right? So that's how it was for me. I think those lessons helped me become a little more independent, little more courageous, and that space where my parents used to go for work and I have to travel alone for some days, to back home. So those lessons actually helped me to understand what exactly I want, because otherwise we wouldn't get that space, right? We would be just distracted, focusing on random stuff, living a vague life. But for me, I think it was a blessing that I could focus on myself more. At least I would get that me time so that I can write down. I remember the days when I used to go back home alone. I used to walk, go back home, sit, take my diary, because my teacher in 3rd class told me that you have to journal every single day.
Wow.
That's a very powerful process. So even now I journal, and I used to write all my wishes in that. I see that most of them are ticked now.
Wow.
So
What
it
was one of your biggest childhood wishes?
I wanted the honorary doctorate at a very young age, because honorary doctorate is something which is given only after 50s or 60s, as far as I know, as far as I seen the pattern. But I've got it at the age of 29 for the service that I've done to the society during the COVID time and even prior. So that's one big achievement I feel I've got.
Wow. And any other manifestation that when you journaled it and it really came true, you really like that was the biggest manifestation ever?
Yeah, definitely. The recent one I can say, because I always love freedom, I want that freedom. And I always heard about the freedom from my mom, from my grandmother, from my cousins, everyone. But I thought, okay, let me make it real. And I think with all the lessons, with the learnings, with the career, whichever we have built over a period of time, I think now I've got that freedom enough to get my flat in the center of the city, because you know that I've just returned from Australia, right? So staying here and there, compromising, adjusting, and then having that backstabbing, etc., instead of being in the complaining mode or something, actually we can create our own future. We can create our own world. We can take charge of it, right? So I think that freedom I have achieved. That is one big thing for me, because as a girl we'll have lots of societal norms, many stereotypes, leaving the sun and going, etc. But I think I've broken those barriers, and I was able to work alone in Australia and for close to 1 year. And now we are just staying together. We both are staying in a flat which is at the center of city, which is a space we exactly wanted.
Wow.
It's the exact space that I wanted. I have written down, this is how I want my office room to be, this is how I want my hall to be, this is how my kitchen should be, something of that sort. And it's exactly the same, which is kind of a real manifestation come true. It's just been 4 months or 5 months that I have written, and it has actually happened.
Wow. And this is an amazing system that you've created for yourself. So you're a coach. How do you help others to create the reality they want and achieve them? What is some of the system that you follow to make your clients also realize this?
Yeah. So first thing would be, we need to come to a point where we can take responsibility of our own self, right? Because for me, with my experience and coaching many people, now I have coached more than 3,000 people, facilitating my mentors and my own people, right? So I understood one thing. We always tend to fall into the trap of emotions, where we would not take the responsibility of our own self. Rather, we would keep all that in the other person's hat, and we would expect other person to do it for us when we do not know what exactly we want for our own selves, right?
Exactly.
So I think bringing up that emotional awareness a little, along with that, we need to start taking that responsibility for our own selves. It could be with slight things, by taking the right actions, by choosing the emotions that you want to feel, because we always know what emotions we do not want to feel. Like, I do not want to be hurt, I should not be sad, I should not be irritated, I'm always irritated, I'm always frustrated. These are the words. But when we think of the reverse, if we ask some person that what is the opposite of irritated, or what is the opposite of anxiety, people would not be able to answer those questions, because we are so much used to those negative beliefs and negative emotions, and we forgot all those positive feelings and emotions, right? So I learned this technique, and it's from NLP, and this powerful technique has actually helped me understand
what is the technique?
emotions.
I really want to know it. What is it?
So it's basically FTBA. It's from the first thing that will give us the entire life's blueprint, we can say, in terms of health, relationship, career, and money. So it's like, we say I'm not losing weight, but what are the feelings attached to it? What are the thoughts attached to it? What are the beliefs and the actions that we are taking towards it, right? We say I should not eat junk food if I have to lose weight. But we would not be knowing that what healthy food and what are the right options that we need to take.
Exactly.
Right? And we will be so much overwhelmed when we get the healthier options. So focusing on that FTBA and taking that one step and taking that one responsibility for our own self. It could be with action, it could be with the emotion, it could be with the belief that we are having, and it could be with the one memory that we want to create for our own selves, right? Basically, it's the emotion that we crave for.
Let us say that a woman is overeating emotionally. How will you go and counsel them with this FTBA, and how will they change because of this?
Yeah. So basically, I have one client. I had one client who wanted to lose weight, and she's having the healthy food. She's having everyday yoga for 1 hour. She has a personal trainer, everything. But she was not losing weight.
Yeah.
And she tried, and she called me one day and asked Srinidhi, this is what's happening. I want something for it. Then I told, okay, let's try it out. Then I asked her to write her FTBA, feelings, thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Everything were opposite. I will not lose my weight. Whatever I do, I will eat healthy food. I'll try to eat healthy food. But somehow my husband or child will come and ask that we will go and eat outside food. Or I am sure that I would not lose weight. And I'm doubtful about myself if I can do. Even if I'm consistent, I'm not sure if the trainer who is training me will help me lose weight. Lots of negative thoughts. And that's how even our subconscious mind will be rewired, right?
Yeah.
So we know that for a fact we should not touch fire because our hands will be burnt. Right? It's subconscious belief and
Correct.
the feed that has happened. Similarly, when we have to do something, we should know what we want, what we need to feel, what we need to do. And it basically happens with this. And we have done FTBA for her, and she has known what exactly is happening. And then I asked, is it helping you really to lose your weight? Then she told no. I told that 80% is mindset and 20% comes the strategy. So then she started working on that system. Every day we used to connect, and I used to, we have a technique called NLP, belief transfer. So we practiced it every single day, and it takes only 5 minutes. And
Wow.
that helped her from saying no to yes. Like, would you really lose weight having all these resources? She used, I doubt. But over a period of time, like within 5-10 minutes of that practice, she used to say, yes,
Wow.
I can lose my weight.
Wow.
Yes, I can lose
So
my
beliefs
weight.
can be snapped in 5
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
Wow.
So she practiced it every single day. On 4th or 5th day, she told that I asked her to keep some favorite dresses of hers aside so that she can try it. Okay. And she took one of her dresses and she tried it, and she told, Srinidhi, I have lost my inches.
Wow.
I'm so happy. It's been 10 years that I wore this dress.
Wow. So the moment we change our beliefs, we change our behavior, and
Yes.
it builds such breakthroughs. Okay.
Yes.
Amazing. So Srinidhi, you are a woman who wakes up at 3 a.m. in the morning. So how is that even possible in today's world? How much sleep you usually get? Do you go to bed early? What is your routine like?
Yeah. So somehow I'm very much interested in waking up at 3 a.m. because it's some kind of connectivity, I feel. I feel like writing so much, working on my own self, reflecting all my thoughts. It's kind of download that happens during that time. So for the own reflection. And also one motivation behind that is my child. Right, because even school days I used to wake up early, but I used to chit chat with my father. I used to ask him about the religion, caste system, why God, like what is the purpose of God, what's the purpose of human life, etc. That is one chapter. But once my son was born, I think he was a motivation because I did not want to give up my career. I wanted to earn more money because I have got the taste of money. Because we can create that kind of freedom, we can create that kind of life, we can create that kind of space where we can create more memories with the child, right? So I've got taste of that, and I really wanted to keep it. I want to sustain with it, and I want to thrive with it. So that's how it is all about. And he was a motivation, and I used to wake up 3 a.m. and I used to take my journal, gratitude journal and affirmations book. I used to first write down because at that time, postnatal, we get lots of emotional turmoil, right?
Yeah.
So I used to pick up my book and write down, I'm grateful to whatever things I have, at least 10 points, 15 points. Then I used to write my affirmations. I am enough. This is just a phase. This is just a phase in mother's life. I want to be the mother. That doesn't mean that I want to lose my career, right? I used to have certain specific affirmations, like right things comes to me at the right time. So I used to write down every single day. I used to pick one affirmation based on my situation there. I used to practice it every day for 21 times. That used to build up my energy in such a way that I used to work from 3:30 till 8 o'clock in a very, very disciplined manner. Most of my important work used to get finished that time because there are least number of distractions, right? Everyone is sleeping. So even as a child, he would be sleeping. And where are the distractions? So full quality work done during those hours, after which when people start waking up, then I'll be coping up with them. Okay, you want this? Okay, you want this? Done. After which I used to work for a few more hours and then close off the work. So that helped me spend more time with him as well. And sometimes when we feel a little restless or something, we have all the practices, right?
That's
we know
amazing.
many things.
Yeah, this is an amazing routine that you're following. So, how do you transfer this to your coaching clients, right? Okay, how do they build their routine? How they improve their productivity with you? Because most of the working women, they are burnt out, right? They are all looking for bliss, but that doesn't never happens.
So the burnout, if I say, if we clear off the clutter from our mind and the environment, that would solve at least 60% of the problems, because firstly, the physical environment. We will have lots of unnecessary stuff around us, which would be distracting us, which would be deviating us, which would be unnecessarily pulling back us, right? That this first one. When we clear the clutter, we feel nice, right? Even our office table, if we clear it off, we feel, okay, let's work nicely now. So that's the first thing. Having a clean space is very important. Maybe, that clutter happens again a little bit, but every week or 15 days, we can just adjust it a little. It would not be so much of that. So the decluttering is one important thing which I feel in the physical space and also emotionally. Sometimes we would not know what the emotional drainers for us, right? We would be catching one single point from someone and we would be saying that, okay, this person has told me this, and we would be wasting our entire day.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we would not be focusing on the child. We would be showing
How to
that
detox
anger.
that, right? When some negative emotion comes from our husband, from our colleague, from our boss, the whole day actually goes off, right? How do you prevent that?
So first thing, when we take responsibility for our own emotions, we would not complain about that, right? The first thing, I remember I used to read lots of self-help books, and I used to think that there should be some change happening. I want something more. This career, finances, health, everything is in place. But there is some emotional void. I have to fill it, right? So that's when one powerful lesson which I learned from one of my mentors is, do not complain, blame, criticize, or judge people.
Yeah.
When we do that, and when you take responsibility for your own emotions, your own happiness, why would we even bother, right?
Yeah.
Because our mind, as I told, the belief subconsciously, it will be very much deep rooted. We would not be, wasting time on it. We will know for sure that in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we should be bouncing back.
Wow. And can you give me a case study of a working woman who was burnt out to the core, and she worked with you, and how did she change?
Yeah. So she was a pilot's wife. She was into full-time job and very high pressurizing job. She has a little baby, but she was into the relationship problem as well, very severe relationship problem as well. She has to work, she has to take care of the child, and she was in that deep trouble where she could not be here or there, kind of. And it was draining her so badly. If we touch her, she cries for hours together. She can talk about the same topic and cry for 3 to 4 hours.
Okay.
That's how intense it was. But when we practiced every single day, when we healed her, when I spoke to her, I understood that most of them were patterns. Most of them were the habits. Emotions have become her habits: to feel sad, to feel hurt, to feel disrespected. All those negative emotions have become her habits. So when it became her habit, would she really be happy even if her husband gives her so much, even if her child gives her so much, or even if her parents give her so much? Because it became her habit and she cannot be, right?
Yeah.
When we worked on her inner child, basically the childhood traumas and all that stuff, she started behaving in a different way altogether. She started accepting that help. She started accepting that love and affection from the people around. She started loving her own self.
Okay.
Right? When she has done that, even she could pass that energy to her child.
Yeah.
She was reading books to her child. Prior to that, she was complaining that I could not read any books because I do not have time, etc. But she was picking up that 10 minutes, 15 minutes time, and she was reading books to her daughter. It was so much beautiful, right? Like taking care of the child every single day and feeling so happy, right? So that is one thing. And she got her back to her job again very healthily and happily. And she has got her promotion as well. And she has started her second hustle also.
Wow.
So
once you fix your emotion, their energy gets fixed, and automatically everything else just flows, right?
Yeah, it's basically that emotions and intelligence. When emotions are high, intelligence would be low, right?
Yeah.
And when intelligence is too high, emotions will be too low. Like we become so much hardcore, stubborn, like stone-hearted kind of. Sometimes we might hear it from people as well. Like, you're always focusing on work. No, nothing. But the other person would not feel much. So basically balancing out this, understanding how we can create that harmony between these emotions as well as the intelligence would help us build that right kind of relationship with ourselves and the people around us.
Amazing. So let us come to Srinidhi's money management system, right? You said that you bought a home, right?
Yeah.
How does working women look at managing money? Where do you think they are stuck mostly? And how can they remove that block?
Okay. So when it comes to money, most people will be very conservative, right? Because we earn that and we'll be scared of that as well. As I told you, the FTBA, when we think about the money also, when we write it down, all the negative emotions will show up in terms of money. If you have to spend 100 rupees or 200 rupees more for the domestic help, we'll think, is it really needed? But we would not be knowing that we are buying time for our own selves, where we can spend our time with our child, or we can retain our energy or build that another skill. When you invest 200 and when you're making 2 lakh rupees or 2000 rupees or 20,000 rupees more from that time, it's something, very important. And that was a kind of important lesson for me as well, because I was thinking I'll do household work myself because I do not like this person's, way of working.
Yeah.
Right,
Many
that
people do this,
perfectionism.
yeah.
So if we want to be perfect, I think we'll be stuck there. It's a very bad position where we'll be stuck, that we would not be having that space to allow some new skills or allow new opportunities for us to come in, right? So that is one thing in terms of basic
Mindset,
reality. So in terms of money making, I think maintaining that journal every single day, even for the money that is coming in and going out, the expense tracker, so which will give us what exactly we need to do, how exactly we need to plan. At least we will be aware of what is coming in and going out.
Wow.
So when we are having that, if we are doing mistake every single day for 3 or 4 days, the next day you'll at least have a thought that should we really do this?
Correct.
We'll have a pause there, right? On 6th or 7th day, even if you spend on that, we'll think, okay, let's make it for a better use, right?
Yeah.
So that one thing has helped me so much. And second thing, this mindset, because buying time, helping build that skill, and improvising our financial backup, financial plan, and making ourselves give that freedom that we want, so that we can get ample time to spend with the family, spend time with our own selves, doing and fulfilling all the things from our wish list, right?
Wow. And this perfectionism, right? Buying time.
Yeah.
This doesn't suit most working women because they're telling the wrong story to themselves.
Yes.
You have this queen story method, right? What is this story all about? And how can they change their story to change their life?
So first, I think we need to create that identity that we want, right? So when we have the identity, see, as a girl, as a child, we'll have lots of dreams. We will write all the dreams and all the things, right? And when you have to fulfill that new dream or the dreams that we have got, if you have to do that, you'll have to take that basic responsibility, and you can make it happen just by changing the stories as you told, right?
Yeah.
So in the queen story method, we basically understand and observe what is that identity that we have to create, and very simple tools and techniques which will help us reach to that point.
Wow.
Right? We spoke about the subconscious beliefs, and we think that when we have to go to a person, take the help on this stuff, it would actually take lots of time, and people may think in a different way. But it's not like that. It actually helps people also around you to become a lot better.
Wow.
Because at least in our society, like mostly, even at home, men listen to women, right? At least in some or the other suggestions.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that happens in most of the cases. At least 70%,
Yeah.
right? On little things at least. So when that is there, but we still complain.
Yeah.
But when you make those little tweaks, even entire world would be supporting you. Entire environment would become supportive of you. Because my son, we thought that, how would he stay? People were telling that how would he stay and all. But he's very supportive that I stayed apart from him for almost 9 months.
Yeah.
And he was super duper happy.
Wow.
And after coming here, he's still supporting me.
Wow.
So I think that's very, very important to have the right stories in our own mind that will easily happen through this NLP techniques and the healing techniques. Because once we improve relationship with our own selves, it helps us improve relationship with our family, friends, close circle basically, and also with the entire world. It's basically, I strongly believe that a healed woman is a healed world.
Amazing. I think Srinidhi has been supported by Dhanvin here, and she has been able to do what she wants to do with her son's support. I think people who are watching this, right, you can give a big hand to Dhanvin as well for this. So amazing. So now tell us, right, what is your vision with this Queen Story method? What is your mission for working women, Srinidhi?
Yeah. So basically, many girls think that we have to earn we want to earn, we want to grow to that powerful woman, getting down the car from the Range Rover, and we want to be that person at home where I'm super duper happy with my husband whenever I have that time. I have to create something for my child so strong, in terms of legacy. I have to build so much. I have to have a great health. Everything, every girl aspires that, right? Every human aspires for that. So because of this, like with this vision, like we sometimes, when we go through some emotional turbulence or turmoil, we take that entire thing showing up in the career. Like if my career is fixed, when I earn money, it will be sorted. But that emotional void grows so much, right, in such a way that even after having everything, we'll not be happy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even after becoming so rich, people will not be happy and they'll be having lots of diseases, right?
Yeah.
So in order to avoid all that, and in fact to have harmony in their work, personal life, and to make their life so beautiful, to have that freedom of emotions, emotional freedom and the financial freedom, this is my vision to, make people reach, because I have achieved it.
Wow.
It took me some time, like I tried all the ways, but now, after practicing so many things, now I know that, okay, this is what we need to do for doing this. So we have very crisp and clear things right in front of our eyes. So it's very easy for people to, start working on them. It's only, we have to take responsibility for our own selves, as I told.
What did your journey about pregnancy, your career and coaching teach you about the strength of the feminine energy?
I was a person who was not at all connected to my feminine energy. Yeah. Firstly, that time, I was enjoying my pregnancy, but somehow I was not being so much to that. Then I understood completely that, handling that, opening that portal of feminine energy, because we sometimes as a working women and having so many milestones we create for ourselves, we forget to, be that creative, be that soft or gentle to our own selves first, right? So it helped me understand that I need to be soft, I need to be polite, I need to be loving, I need to be caring for my own self. That's the first important thing, because I was always behind the goals. I was always behind the goals, chasing the goals, and I was super happy in terms of career. But I understood that it is very, very critical for me to also keep my feminine energy alive. Otherwise, we would be falling in trap of some or the other stuff. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that is one important thing. And the second thing which I learned is, the creative energy that flows out of you, that natural energy that flows out of you when you keep your feminine energy in balance. I think that's so, so, so damn beautiful, because, basically feminine energy, when we think, people say that in different ways altogether. But I think in small things that we practice every single day, we can still keep up that feminine energy. For example, cooking your favorite meal is also something feminine, right? Because you keep all your energies, be so creative in cooking that. So even such small things actually help you keep that energy flowing, especially for the girls, because it's basically based on the gender, right?
Yeah.
If you are a girl, feminine energy is little on the dominant side. So when we are blocking that energy, how do we operate? When your OS is, iOS, will you be able to operate with the Android when you instill some other things? No, right? So it's a similar way that
so we should embrace that energy and operate from that energy and include some masculine as well, or
yeah, definitely. Otherwise, if you have to be a working woman and if you're so soft, so gentle at office, I think things wouldn't work.
All right.
So having the milestones, having that firmness and assertiveness in the voice, and standing out for your own self is also very much important to balance out that masculinity and femininity in our own selves.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you are putting yourself first, right? But most moms, they don't put themselves first. They put the family first. They put their children first, and they come last in their family, right? Okay. How can they fix that?
So even I was doing the same thing, I think 6 years back maybe. I was putting everyone else first before me. But it was very difficult for me to say no to certain things, because I did not keep myself first. I always prioritize others over me. Even the food that I choose, even the dress I choose, etc., etc. That's how it is, right? In most of the homes, no, don't wear this dress because people would say something, or do not wear this because it's not good, it's not secure, etc. But when you start at least focusing on little things about our own selves, it is not selfish, right? You have to be selfish sometimes to become that selfless. Initially, people may say that you are selfish, you are just focusing on yourself, because even I heard that dialogue dialogue.
Yeah.
That time I used to think that why. Then I realized that okay, I'm changing now.
Mm.
There is some difference which people can see in my character and my personality.
Yeah.
They're saying me selfish.
Yeah.
So that was my plus point. I was feeling okay.
So everybody
now.
listening to this, right? You have to be heard as selfish. Only then you are putting yourself first. Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, so that selfishness, not in so drastically, but in terms of doing certain things for our own selves.
Yeah.
Taking time to journal, taking time to do something which you'll really love.
Yeah.
Taking time to even sip coffee peacefully.
Yeah.
You have to be selfish to make yourself selfless, because this one which I heard from my mentor again, it was like, fill your cup first so that you can be overflowing. Even others around you would be getting that joy and that love and all that stuff.
Wow.
Right? So that actually hit my mind so hard. My first book is also having all this stuff like fill your cup first, take responsibility, be selfish to be selfless. And once you practice that, when your mind rewires in such a way, and when you get that flavor of being so nice to you, so being so happy in any kind of situation, bouncing back even if there is large disturbance or difficulty, you will know that you can get up again, right? That's the kind of courage that we get out of it.
Wow, amazing. I think your Kyun story is so amazing and so inspiring. A lot of women who are seeing this, right, they're going to get inspired and they're going to go to the next level of their growth. So we're moving to the rapid fire section of this interview. Okay. So I'm going to ask you questions and answer in 1 or 2 words. So one word that defines you right now.
Experiencing the freedom.
So your go-to mindset ritual before a coaching call.
I'll just drop everything for 2 minutes, sit, relax, think, and I'll just completely be there for the person.
So what is a book or a mentor that shifted your life?
The first book was Secret.
Wow. If success had a taste, what would it be?
Freedom, emotional freedom, and financial freedom backed up with that.
So we're coming to the last part of this interview. If Dhanvan, he's going to listen to this podcast 10 years from now, what is that you want to tell to him right now?
I just want him to be self-reliant, so that people can depend on him, because emotions is what humans crave for, right? I want him to be emotionally sufficed so that he can give the better emotions, better respect, better love to the people around, not, holding them, caging them, but rather with the freedom.
Wow. Self-reliant. That is the message for Dhanvan. So if any woman is seeing this podcast, what is that one advice you give them that they can keep for the rest of their life?
I think start focusing on yourselves, be selfish to become selfless, and become that selfless person where you can create legacy to your own family and to the entire world by raising the better individuals.
So feeling inspired, you can follow Srinidhi on her Instagram, LinkedIn, and all the other channels in the description below. And if you want more content like this and you want more interviews and get inspired, you can click the link here and watch our other interviews. And if you're a coach ready to craft your legacy, join the Unicorn Coach community where we will help you to scale with soul. And thank you, Srinidhi, for being a part of this interview.
Thank you, Gopal. It was really nice interacting with you, and I'm so glad that I'm in your mentorship. That's helping me grow so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Srinidhi. All the best. Yeah.